While Oklahoma made out like a bandit, the University of Texas football program got skunked in the first 4 rounds of the NFL draft, and we gotta talk about it. And all that's coming up after the bumper.
What do you mean you don't subscribe to my son's YouTube channel?
Mama, no!
Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always OU related, college football related, sports related. We have a good time. And today, how in the blue hell does the University of Texas football program defend getting skunked in the first 4 rounds of the NFL draft? Like, all jokes aside, that's an honest question. I mean, I'm here for the jokes, and I'm certainly going to keep making jokes about the University of Texas football program. But nobody? Nobody? Seriously? 168 players, none of which come out of the flagship program, the state of Texas, the second most moneyed football program in the entire world. And all we got is a dude that's the director of recruiting down there who wants to make jokes about OU when all OU did was put back-to-back #1 overall draft picks into the NFL draft, have back-to-back Heisman Trophy winners, have 3 college football playoff berths in 5 years, win back-to-back Big 12 titles, win 2 Sugar Bowls in 1 decade, put 5 players into the NFL in the first 4 rounds, every single eligible offensive lineman on the starting line last year, and we're not even through yet. I'm recording this after the end of the 4th round. Rodney Anderson's still on the board, but the University of Texas doesn't have anybody? Do you remember when we were so upset that Calvin Anderson picked Texas over OU coming from Rice? Remember that? And then all of a sudden, nobody knew if Cody Ford was going to work out, and then the Buffalo Bills, who got Cody Ford with a steal at number 38 overall, had given him a first-round grade, and that was the guy that was going to be suspect on the offensive line. He ended up being the first offensive lineman taken at Oklahoma. I mean, yes, by all means, talk about Bill Bedenbaugh, protect Bill Bedenbaugh at all costs. But Texas, what happened? Now, I understand I asked this honest question. I got some really good answers on Twitter. So follow me on Twitter, RJ_Young on the Twitters. I know that most people are just there listening and they're not actually tweeting. But Seth Oliveris actually came up with a pretty good stat. Says, it should also be noted that Texas returns the least amount of production, 48% of all Power 5 programs in 2019. So it's not like they just don't have anybody for the NFL to choose from. And then Brian Davis actually made what I consider to be kind of a good point that I'll probably pick apart here in just a second, which is that no Texas players from a 10-win team were taken in the first 3 rounds, ended up being 4 rounds, of the draft. Speaks to the talent pool Tom Herman inherited, proves that coaching is legit. Maybe, because that's like saying that you never had any talent at the University of Texas. That's like saying that Charlie Strong just didn't have any horses in the stable at Texas, which is a bold-faced lie. The truth about Texas football recruiting is you don't actually have to recruit. You just have to evaluate well, which I get. Maybe Charlie Strong had a problem doing that, probably did. But when Sam Hargy Ellinger is told to his face, you're not going to be a quarterback at the next level, you should probably start thinking about doing the H-back tight end thing a la Tim Tebow, and ends up being a washout flameout in the NFL. Remember that I said it here in 2019 on this channel. I'm looking at all the other guys that left the year after Tom Herman got in there. We're talking about guys like Malik Jefferson. Remember him? That was one of the best linebackers to come out of the state of Texas in a very long time. All right? We're talking about guys like Gary Johnson, who was just here. Okay? Talking about Chris Boyd, who was supposed to be in line for the Thorpe Award at the start of the season. You seriously? You got to sit there and try to tell me that University of Texas didn't have any talent the last couple of years? Come on, man. I get it. You win 10 wins. You don't want to talk about the 4 losses. You want to talk about getting doubled up by Maryland, taking an L to Oklahoma State, taking an L to West Virginia, and then getting pile drove in the Big 12 championship game by Oklahoma. You only want to talk about the 10 wins, and we're not going to even go into how it's easier to win 10 wins today than it was 10 years ago, than it was 20 years ago. Okay, it just doesn't mean the same. And I get it. OU over here. I understand Texas folks. I get it. But also, just facts. We're talking about facts. You don't have anybody drafted. Go talk to your man Tommy. Okay? Tell Magic City Tom, stop spending so much time talking with your boys and start spending some more time trying to build out NFL talent, because that's what college football is. I love college football. My favorite sport. But it is about getting to the next level. It is about being one of the 2% to not only get into the NFL, but sign $1 million contract in the NFL. That's why draft position matters. That's why slotted values matter. We're talking about millions of dollars versus trying to fight for a job on the team. Making it to the NFL is one thing. Signing a contract for millions of dollars is something else entirely. And that is what you're proving you can do at the University of Oklahoma. And today is evidence enough. You should put on the brochure, did not have any draft picks in the first 4 rounds of the NFL draft, and tell it like it is, because that's just true. So, for Texas fans, it's so hard for me to sit back here in this studio listening to a guy out here in the comments hollering my name when last year we put more pros in the NFL draft than you did. You talking to the diamond ring wearing, Big 12 title wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun. And I'm having a hard time holding these Big 12 championships down. Deuces.